Hello everyone, this is Ma Badila, and I'm here to talk to you about a wonderful day in American history called Juneteenth. As it happens, on June 19th, 1865, soldiers came to Galveston, Texas to announce the end of slavery in America. Over 2 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, slavery was still being practiced in Texas. They put a stop to it that day. And since we celebrate Juneteenth, June 19th, every year to remind us, after all that suffering, finally, slavery was abolished. After I read this story to you, I want to talk to you about a Juneteenth celebration here in Hudson coming up this very weekend. It'll be celebrated on June 20th due to the rain expected on the 19th. This book, a wonderful story about a young girl, Maisie. She doesn't like having restrictions, having to go to bed at night when she would rather stay up, can't have cookies when it's time to sleep. But she's really happy about celebrating when she learns what Juneteenth is for all our people. And for the American public too, to learn how to let go of what's not good and celebrate what is. This is Juneteenth for Maisie. It's written by Floyd Cooper, and the illustrations are stunning. Maisie wants to play outside, but it is too late. It's getting dark, Maisie. It's not time to stay outside. Maisie wants a cookie, but it is time for bed. Not now, little one. It's too close to bedtime. And Maisie wants to stay up late, but she's too little. Bedtime is through, sweet girl. It's time to go to bed. You know sometimes you can't always have what you want, but it's still the best. Why so grumpy, sugar bear? Asks Dad. I can't go anywhere I want, or have what I want, or do what I want, answers Maisie. Well, tomorrow you can have a celebration, says Dad. What are we celebrating? Asks Maisie. And he's happy to tell her about it. We will celebrate the day your great-great-great-grandpa Mose crossed into liberty. The day will be celebrated by us and many more families on a day we call Juneteenth. Dad lifts Maisie into his arms. I bet you're tired of hearing no all the time. Well, great-great-great-grandpa heard no even more time. Grandpa Mose worked in the fields that stretched all the way to sunset. He and the others who were enslaved would be bone tired, but they had to keep going. Those who were their masters wouldn't let them quit. But as they worked, they thought about freedom, because they knew they should be free, like everyone. And before they finally went to sleep at night, they prayed about freedom and made plans. They made plans for change and for a better life. Some enslaved ran north to freedom, following a bright star in the sky. Yeah, what we call the North Star. Wherever you are, when you see that star glimmering, you know that's north. They sweat, they bled, and they cried. till those cries were quieted by a single proclamation from a brave president. Grandpa Mose heard that proclamation read from the balcony of the hotel on that warm day in Galveston, Texas. But when a general from the army came down there and realized what was going on, he let them know, this is not right. You have been proclaimed free, and it was over 2 years that they were still practicing slavery. Grandpa Mose heard nothing but cheers, saw nothing but happiness, and felt nothing but pride, shared by all those around him. The cheers became dancing, the dancing became celebrating, and it went on into the night. That wonderful, blessed feeling when you know things are changing for the better. Grandpa Mose and the others had found freedom. They continued to work, but this time they were paid for their hard work. So they worked, and they saved, and they never forgot the moment they heard, the moment that changed their lives forever. You have to breathe a whole different sigh. But things weren't perfect. Black people still struggled to stand shoulder to shoulder in equality with white people. They still weren't treated as equals. It wasn't easy, but they never gave up. And every year on Juneteenth, they remembered. Come a long way. There's still a long way to go. They marched for jobs. They lobbied for schools and the right to vote. They shouted for opportunity. Just equal opportunity. And every year on Juneteenth, they celebrated. Celebrations are good to remind you to keep on the path. They learned and they grew. Kind of reminds me of Katherine Johnson. So many others. And they forgave. Forgave. That takes a lot of love in your heart to forgive such wrongdoing. They excelled and achieved. Many became heroes. Of course, that was a picture of the first African-American president, Barack Hussein Obama. Now, sweet Maisie, it's your turn to celebrate. Just like great-great-great-grandpa Mose. Look at that. And the great celebrations in those days, celebrating the first Juneteenth, would be barbecue and sweet strawberry drink. That was the drink of Juneteenth, the first one. It's your turn, Maisie, to eat some barbecue and drink some strawberry pop. Celebrate. So nice to see all those happy faces, joyful children. It's your turn to celebrate. And you must take that moment. When you have hard times, celebrate the good times. And remember, remember your past. It helps inform your present and guide you to your future. Just to remember, as a moment of American history, on June 19th, 1865, the soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas, announcing the end of the Civil War and the end of slavery in the United States. It was more than 2 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, celebrated every year on June 19th, commemorating the announcement of the abolition of slavery and emancipation of African American citizens throughout the entire United States. And looking at the American flag, this is the flag that was designed for the celebration of Juneteenth. I believe it's very, very important to celebrate and to give thanks that we have arrived so far and to keep our courage and commitment to making the work to go all the way to true freedom for everyone. Thank you. Enjoy. And now, let me remind you, there is a Juneteenth celebration here in Hudson. It's the second annual Juneteenth celebration. It will be held on the 20th, which is Father's Day. Bring your dad out and celebrate at the Waterfront Park in Hudson, New York from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And there's going to be so many activities going on, and music and dancing and storytelling and art. And it's just going to be a great day to come out. And everybody's welcome, by the way. The whole entire community is there to welcome the joyful moment of celebrating. I hope I see you there. Thank you. Here's another book about Juneteenth. It's called All Different Now. Because things change when you get that great news. The first day of freedom, which was June 19th in 1865, when a Union general came and made the announcement on the balcony to the people who were listening and learned, this has been proclaimed over 2 years ago. You're free. Angela Johnson wrote this book, and it's illustrated by E.B. Lewis. A June morning, breeze off the port blew the smell of honeysuckle past the fields and across the yard. Smell came into our room to wake us. And nobody knew, as we ate a little, talked a little, and headed to the fields as the sun was rising, that soon it would all be different. Then we worked and worked and worked some more under the hot Texas sun. Nobody bringing me water, even. Just work, work, work. Until word spread from the port into town, through the countryside, and into the fields. Oh, news travels fast. A Union general had read from a balcony that we were all now and forever free. And things would be all different now. I watched as my Aunt Laura sang as she held her baby. Oh, freedom over me. Mr. Jake, who some say was 100, cried quietly. And a group of grown people bowed their heads and whispered things to each other I could not hear. I know there was a whole lot of thank you, thank you, thank you in what they were whispering. My mama held my hand softly and looked beyond. As another breeze blew over and everything fell to a hush. But later, the news settled in. Papa, Mama, the aunts, the uncles, and all of my cousins had an afternoon picnic by the water. My baby brother crawled around our blanket as we listened to the sounds of the waves. Just breathing that feeling. Finally, it's over. As more people joined us, we ate as free people. We laughed as free people and told stories as free people all into the night. What a wonderful feeling. What was before would be no more. As we walked back home, the cool of the night soothed our tired feet that padded quietly past the shadowy fields of cotton. Walk right past that terrible memory. Walk right past those cotton fields as free people. And in the morning, the smell of honeysuckle will wake me again, beside my sisters and brother, to a time that will be for all of us. The sweet smell of honeysuckle. And this time, it'll be all different now. It's a wonderful way to look at the news. It's just starting up a whole new life. And with that whole new life, many new adventures, many new challenges. But we're up to it. Thank you.